Hello guys and welcome back. In this video we're going to be talking about how things going wrong when you're young or having flaws is the best thing that can happen to you, and it comes from an old story, an old fable. I think I might butcher this, but I'll do my best. I heard it a few years ago. So there's a frog. I told you it's going to be a fable, it's going to be weird, right? But there's a frog and it's jumping around in the mud. There's like two tracks, okay? There's one like lower level, there's one higher level. This frog's just hopping along, normal as can be, just hopping along, you know, it's all dirty and mucky down there, and at the top it's all nice, green fields, etc. The sun's up there, down in this ditch it's all dark and horrible and wet and damp. This frog's hopping along, it's happy enough in the dark and damp bit. And then this other frog comes along, and this frog's on the higher bit, and it's hopping along alongside, and it says, "Hey buddy, what are you doing? You know, hey Ezekiel," no I'm kidding, it's hopping along and it's like, what are you doing down there? Why are you in the mud? Why don't you come up here? The frog's like, "Nah, it's okay. This is fine for me. I'm happy here. You know, things are okay. It's not bothering me. Like I'm getting on with what I'm doing." The frog's like, "Are you sure? All right, never mind." Frog comes back the next day, says the same thing. "You're still down there? What are you doing? Like, come up. What are you doing?" "No, same again. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to move. I'm okay. I'm happy. Like my life's good down here. I've got everything I need." "All right, no worries." The next day, the frog's hopping along on the top level. And he looks to his right and he's like, "Hey, buddy, you came up, you listened to my advice, you know, what changed your opinion?" And the frog was like, "A truck was coming." Right, and the metaphor for this, I'll break it down now, is the higher level is the higher level of life, the lower level is kind of the pit of life, the bottom shit that everyone gets stuck in. Now that frog, when there was nothing going wrong, that frog down the bottom didn't want to change. You know, there was no reason to change, there's no reason to do something different in life. When that truck was coming, the frog had to get out of the way, had to move. So when something bad actually came into that frog's life and forced him to go and do something different, he was forced then to go up to the upper level. He was forced to jump out the way, get up. And this is what hard times, flaws and bad things happening to you when you're young, this is what they do to you. They define you. This is why you should be happy if you're unpopular at school. This is why you should be happy if you're not that good looking growing up. This is why you should be happy if you have weight problems when you're growing up. Maybe your parents, you know, fucked up with the whole diet thing, never really taught you. This is why you should be happy if you lose your hair in your 20s. This is why you should be happy if you grow up broke. This is why you should be happy if you get fired from your job. This is why you should be certainly happy if your beautiful girlfriend dumps you because you're not good enough, she goes off with somebody more established. All of these events will define you later on in life. They will push you forward because they are like the truck coming towards you and giving you that kick up the ass and saying, "Look, you need to be better. You need to do better. You need to be more and do more." There's too many guys that sail through life and not even their dog dies. You know, I don't wish it on anybody, but not even their dog dies. And they go through their teens and their 20s, they get to like 34 years old and they're a boy in a man's body because nothing's fucking happened. They thought a tough experience was going to university, their parents giving them £10,000 and they get also a loan from the bank and they're like, "Oh, I need to weigh up how much I can spend on food, we're living on our own now, this is tough." It's like, look, trust me, that's not tough. That's not going to motivate you to be better or define you as a man. You know, when I lost my hair, it started falling out at like 21, a little bit before that, but noticeably at like 21, 22, I was like, fuck, I need to get rich. I need to get rich and get in ridiculous shape. I need to start lifting heavy fucking weights because, you know, if I'm like some skinny fat bald guy with no money, there's trouble coming my way in life. Like, it's not going to be fun, it's not going to be enjoyable. I need to become better and do more. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be as motivated to get in shape, get bigger. And you've seen the fitness journey now. That's a big motivating factor behind a lot of that, because I'm like, well, you need to compensate in other areas, okay? Guys who lose their job or lose their girlfriend or something like that, or the same within like a month, that shit happens a lot because a lot of girls aren't there for you. They just quite like the lifestyle that you're paying for. So there's a lot of guys that have lost both in a short space of time, right? In that scenario, a lot of guys will fall apart for the first month or two, but then they might grit their teeth. You know, they might grit their teeth and say, "Fuck it, I need to go and do something. I need to get in the gym. I need to get a new job. I get a better job. The job that I had, you know what, truth be told, didn't fucking like it anyway." That's usually the conclusion that you come to. Or, "My girlfriend, you know what, truth be told, she actually spent a lot of my fucking money. Not sure if she actually loved me for me. I'm gonna find a better one next time." once you come to that resolution, which is usually 99% of men come to 99% of men come to that conclusion at some point in their life when they go through something that's a bit shit. But it helps if you've gone through it when you're young. Now, you don't have to, because you can watch this video and be like, yeah, I need to do more. But usually, like I said before, guys, the good-looking guys that have everything, have money, no reason to be better, everything's fine, mum and dad are paying for things, you don't have to force yourself to become better. Now, I pushed MSI College forward more than ever when we went to Toronto, and I had to actually pay rent. I was like, fuck, I need to grind. I need to do something with this business. And when I moved to London, I was like, first man needs to become better because the prices here are ridiculous. Sometimes putting yourself in a shitty situation, or life putting you in a shitty situation, especially young, is more helpful than you can imagine. We look at it as a negative, and you always hear that, people will say it was actually the best, looking back, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Well, of course it is, because it kicks you up the arse. Ideally we all want to be 6'4", good looking, and have everything that we've ever wanted, money in the bank, super intelligent, go to the best university, dating a model at the age of 18, and it's like, oh, okay, away we go, life's fantastic. It's just not going to happen though, right? But even if it did, most of us would be lazy. We'd be like, well, why do I need to stay fit? Why do I need to stay in shape? That's why a lot of billionaires just get fat, old and ugly, because they're like, well, I can still get women. I can still get whatever I want. I can just pay for sex if I need to, so fuck it. I'm just going to eat this extra croissant with chocolate spread all on the inside and have that extra beer, because they're like, who gives a shit? I can still pay for a Russian model who's a straight 10 to come around and sleep with me tonight. I think that's a bad mentality. I think you should do it, so that they actually want you for you, and I think it just feels better when you don't have to pay for it. All right? I'm not against paying for it, but I just think it's better when you don't have to. All right? But that's the mentality those guys have, that they're in a position where they're like, I don't need to give a fuck. That's why a lot of rich guys don't dress that well, because they're like, what does it fucking matter? I'm a billionaire properly, not just on the outside. But when you're young and let's say, lose your hair, lose your girlfriend, lose your job, you don't have money, times are tough, you get rejected a lot by employers or women, these are good things, because they're going to kick you up the arse, like that frog. That frog was doing nothing, just hopping around in the slums of life. But then as soon as something comes along and says, oh, by the way, I'm gonna run you over, your life's gonna be shit, they respond to that by going, okay, this needs to change, I need to improve, I need to go up to that higher level. But it takes something like that to change you. I've seen a lot of people who have lost like their mother or something from cancer, or something like their brother dies in a car accident or something like that, and then the next 10 years they're a fucking monster. They go and achieve billions. I'm not saying it's going to have to take that, and I pray that it doesn't have to take that. I pray that nobody has to go through that. But those kicks up the arse, usually when people are like, worst day of my life, looking back, they're like, do you know what, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be where I am now. So, forget the last two when I say this next line here, those, you'll never look back and be like, oh, that was the best day of my life that my mum died, or whatever, right? But in terms of moving forward in life, just know that these bad times usually create a better man. There's a lot of quotes about it, I think they're kind of cliche, I don't fucking like them, but just know that, if your hair's falling out, you're not a good looking guy, you're not in the shape you want to be in, girls are rejecting you, you can't find a job, you've just been fired from one, don't worry too much. Don't worry too much, because if things were very good, you wouldn't do fuck all. You tell me one rich person's kid that goes and creates their own success. There's a few, but it's very rare. I've probably met like 3 in my whole lifetime that actually have a brain. Usually they're just floppy dicks. They're not doing shit. They usually turn to drugs, commit suicide by the age of 40, because life's just too easy, it's not fun. And they usually do a lot worse than the average person. But because they've got mum and dad's money, they always do okay. But you want shit to happen to you young. Remember that, guys. And when it does, embrace it, and raise the right questions. Be like, is that happening because I'm not who I want to be? Am I getting rejected because I'm not good looking? Am I getting rejected because I'm not in shape? Am I getting rejected because I'm kind of a floppy, weak cock? I need to grow up, I need to mature, I need to develop some better body language, some better traits, I need to speak more confidently and fluently. To be honest, I bend over backwards for everybody. well, there we go. You know, it's woken you up. It's told you what you needed to know. Use it, move forward. These things come along at the right time. I don't know whether it's fate. I don't know whether we're in a simulation. I don't know what runs it. But usually the shit that happens to you defines you. You can either take it one or two ways. You either soak it up and you fucking move forward, you know, or you drop into like a deep depression and you get sad or whatever. I don't need to tell you which one's which, but one of those approaches works a lot fucking better than the other one. I promise you.